What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Don. We are back with another video. I have decided to change the name of the series. It's not going to be the Donnie Talks series. It's going to be the Donnie Talks Show. Just because it gives it a little bit more. I don't know what to call it, but I just like it better than that. Now, LeBron James. He lost again. Notice how the haters come out once you start losing. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how the haters always show up once you lose? But when you win, everybody love you. But when you lose, you terrible, you suck, whatever. You know, the way I see it, LeBron was never gonna win this one. I don't. He could have dropped 60 every game. He still would have lost by like 5. And a L is a L. You know. So it's not like we could sit here and say that what LeBron is doing is enough. I think it is time for him to forget about Cleveland, get up, pack a bag, and take yourself to the San Antonio Spurs. And you're saying, Don, why San Antonio? Well, let me tell you. The talent upgrade for the role players is already significantly better than it is in Cleveland, number one. 2, they actually play defense. You're not going to be able to cut to the basket for open layup. I can't tell you how many times this has happened for Cleveland, you know. And there's something to be said for having a good supporting cast, because you cannot tell me that after you watch game 1, you were just nervous. The game 1 is the one game they should have won, because it would have punched the Warriors in the mouth, so to speak. It would have made the Warriors think twice about thinking that they could do a sweep, because the sweep was all they were going for. A sweep was never going to happen once you hit that first game, obviously, but it was more psychological. Psychological, no. Everybody on that team, especially J.R. Smith, knew how he messed up. Supposedly after that game, LeBron punched a whiteboard and broke his hand, or fractured it. Same thing, basically. I don't blame him, because you can't teach that stuff. A lot of players around the league want to talk about LeBron empowering his teammates to win. Come on, man. If I teach you how to drive a car, while I'm teaching you how to drive the car, I'm expecting you to at least know that you got to stop at the stop sign and that you got to stop at a red light. Certain things cannot be taught. So I don't know what we're talking about. We're not even talking about J.R. Smith making just a bonehead play. We talking about, oh, LeBron didn't do enough. Whoa, we're starting overtime. The game was over. Even though overtime didn't start, the game was over once JR did that. Those who know basketball know that, because you didn't have the team to compete for another 3 or 4 minutes. That's why you needed to finish them when you had the chance. JR blew up that moment, and as the series went on, the supporting cast just didn't do it for him. Larry Nance is terrible. Tristan Thompson is terrible. Kyle Korver didn't even show up when you really needed him to in the finals, even though he played pretty well before that. You know, Kevin Love. We're talking about Kevin Love like he's an all-star. I couldn't understand what has happened to Kevin Love. But you know, everybody rides the wave, and I didn't like LeBron James like that either 2 years ago. But you gotta give respect where respect is due. And you cannot tell me that LeBron James is not the one player in the NBA who can bring his team to the finals every year. And he's been doing that for like 8 finals straight in the Eastern Conference. So as far as LeBron's legacy goes, it didn't really take a hit, because I didn't expect him to win this one. So why not go somewhere where you team up with a Kawhi Leonard? If him and Kawhi team up together, defensively they're already unstoppable. Offensively, the matchup problems they would give other teams are crazy. Believe me. That's what I want to say. You know, do you guys think that's a good option? Because I don't think he's gonna go to Boston. Why would he go to Boston? To chase Kyrie? And if Kyrie sees that, I was talking to one of my boys. He said, "Well, Kyrie might go to New York." I mean, it's possible, but I don't see LeBron going to Boston. For what? LeBron going to Boston, even though they have a lot of talent too. But I think the way the whole Kyrie thing ended was so bad. I don't really think that would work anyway. And you got to remember, if LeBron goes there, it's not just LeBron for nobody. 3 or 4 of those good young talents are gonna go. It might have to be a Tatum. It's gonna have to be a Jaylen Brown and a Terry Rozier for LeBron James, which would make Cleveland instantly better. Cleveland would love that, but I can't see that happening. You know. So next, I also want to talk about the what people are saying about the 3-6. So basically, legacy wise. So how does this hurt his legacy? It don't hurt his legacy one bit. Let me tell you guys something. When it comes to winning in the NBA, you will never win by yourself. You're always going to need at least 2 or 3 other players who will help you win. But sometimes when you don't get the help, the idea of you being able to win by yourself, it becomes more prevalent. Even though, not even Kobe. Look, if you want to think about winning by yourself, look at AI when AI played Kobe. AI, it was pretty much just him, and he lost because there was no way at the time that you could beat Kobe and Shaq together. You know, so you can't really think of that perspective. And some of these players around the league, I was reading a Bleacher Report article, basically a panel of 6 or 7 guys. Chauncey Billups, it was Kobe was on there. Jaylen Brown was on there. I'm sorry, Jaylen Brown. Jalen Rose was on there. Chauncey Billups, Kobe. You know, these guys are all talking about. Well, some of these guys, especially Kobe. Kobe was like a little arrogant because you know how Kobe is. He's like, oh well, it doesn't matter. You're supposed to find a way to win, which is not. It's not a fair analogy when you know the way the NBA works, and Kobe knows that. That's why they got Shaq at the time because they didn't really have it. Kobe was getting cooked too early, so we can't look at it like that. KD now is on the Warriors, and a lot of people saying that he ruined the NBA. Trust me, they're beatable. The Golden State Warriors are not invincible. It's just that right now, the way the teams are constructed right now, they're not gonna lose. That's why this offseason is actually the most important offseason in the last couple of years. Because now we really do have a super team in the Warriors that needs to be defeated. I know this summer every team is going to try and recruit, and I think it's going to start with LeBron. LeBron needs to get up out of there. From there, I can see LeBron winning at least 3 more championships. 2 early on, and maybe another 3rd one late in his career. And I think San Antonio will be the best spot for him. As far as the landscape goes in the NBA right now, listen, you're always going to have certain players who make a difference as soon as they step onto the court, and LeBron is one of those guys. But you need help sometimes. So I think now that LeBron has been in Cleveland for a while, he needs to consider his options. If you really want to win, you go somewhere where you get the best chance. And some people are saying, well, why don't you go to Golden State? The NBA, the way the NBA works now, it's funny because these players today have a lot more freedom to move around teams. I'm pretty sure Charles Barkley would have loved to be able to move around while he did. That's why later on in his career, he tried to do the super team thing too, and it didn't really work out. So we're gonna see really where LeBron James goes. But it doesn't really hurt his legacy because he wasn't really expected to win this one. I think starting next year, the clock will tick for him. I give him another 5 years total in NBA. Starting next year, and in those 5 years, at the top, 4 at the top. No, sorry, 3 at the top, and another 5 in the NBA. Trust me. And early on, he'll win 2 more rings, and then maybe one of the last years, he'll win another ring somewhere else. That's just the way I see this going. Because a lot of the players around the league were saying stuff like, yeah, well, even though he carries his teams a lot, when it comes to the finals, you need to find a way to win. And Paul Pierce was on that panel too. You know, rivalries never die. So of course, those former players are always going to talk about LeBron not being able to deliver. Trust me, they themselves would not be able to do what LeBron is doing. You're getting eliminated in like the second round. Trust me. LeBron James is the greatest overall player to ever play the game, but he's not the greatest. The greatest is Michael Jordan. If rings were the only thing that mattered, then Bill Russell would be on the top of the Mount Rushmore. But we don't know. We never say that Bill Russell is the top though. So why would we? Why would we say that rings is the only thing that matters if we never really talk about Bill Russell being the best one? Because he got a ring for every finger. So I don't understand that concept. Therefore, I see the only ones that I really blame LeBron for was that one in Dallas. He should have won that one. But other than that, right now, if LeBron James goes to the San Antonio Spurs, the dynasty that they have going on in Golden State is going to take a hit. Because from the first game forward, it could have been a different series. But, of course, if you're dealing with people who aren't as locked in as you are, you got to compensate sometimes for things that you don't even plan for. Who's going to plan for your teammate not putting a basic rebound back? That's like elementary school. Who doesn't know how much time is left on the clock to put the ball back? Even if you missed, you missed. If you missed, you missed. But at least you didn't make a play like that where you start running around the court with chicken, like a chicken with your head cut off, running around the court thinking you won the game. That's just dumb. That is just dumb. That's what that is. That's why people always get on J.R. Smith for this. And he deserves that. He really does. He deserves that. He really deserves that. But yeah, that's like my take on it. What's your take? Do you really think LeBron James is even going to go anywhere? So it's really between Boston, LA, San Antonio, and Philly. But nobody is going to go to Philly. I don't think he would go there just because it doesn't make sense. They're not good enough yet. It basically be a little bit better than Cleveland. The best opportunity he has is San Antonio. But let your boy Don know in the comment section what you think. What do you think LeBron is going to do, man? I think I have an idea, and I'm pretty solid on that. You already know that. But it's your boy Donnie. This is the Donnie Talk Show, and I'll see y'all next time, man. Peace. I'm out.